You know what genuinely frustrates me as a functional medicine practitioner who works with women globally? A lot of my clients in the US and Canada do not have access to their most comprehensive blood work. There's this client of mine who's 44 years old. She's come to me with hair fall, fatigue, increase in cholesterol. And the thing is, I cannot just look at one marker that she sent me and pretend like I know the full story. Although her blood work is quite workable for now, I was breaking down her uh, parameters. I just felt like, okay, as much as it is workable, it is still very incomplete for a woman who's in perimenopause. And here's the thing, hair loss is rarely just about hair. And if you've been following me, I always say that your hair is built in your digestion, nervous system, and your blood. Hair is often the last thing your body is going to prioritize, but unfortunately, it is the first thing it's going to reflect any sort of internal dysfunction. And in her case, I've seen elevated cholesterol, dysregulated thyroid markers, high inflammation, blood sugar instability. I immediately want to know if her progesterone is crashing, what exactly is happening to her HPA axis, how bad is the thyroid conversion, which could be responsible for slow metabolism, and even the nutrient depletion, which probably is worsening the cellular stress because her body is not able to absorb enough iron. Her ferritin levels are extremely low. So these systems don't work in isolation. For me to understand this case, I would need a comprehensive blood work. And unfortunately, the system in US and Canada does not allow women to get their comprehensive blood work. So if you're a doctor in US, Canada, please comment in this video and explain me why. Why is a woman in US and Canada deprived from this basic right of understanding her complete blood panel as and when she wants it? Why does she need? The thing is, any system in a woman's body or even in a man's body, but because I work with women, I understand that the female body is deeply interconnected. So if her thyroid is sluggish, it can elevate her cholesterol. I've understood this looking at her blood work. But there can be chronic stress and elevated cortisol, which can also suppress her thyroid function. And with what happens in a lot of women, and that's why in my 3-month containers, it's not just about supplements or nutrition, it's also the emotional gunk that we women carry, which can subconsciously make our cortisol rise. Perimenopause also worsens insulin resistance. So even if you have like the most amazing diet, you work out, you lift weights, but because you have a combination of this emotional gunk happening and your thyroid, which has gotten sluggish because of perimenopause, all of this is also gonna make your cells insulin resistant, which in turn makes inflammation in your body exacerbate. Now, whenever there's inflammation, your hair follicles are going to get impacted because inflammation affects your scalp hair follicle health and hormone signaling. And that's why you understand why a basic panel is not going to cut it. I'm not just treating hair, I am looking at the ecosystem from where your hair is growing. Because when we restore the metabolic health, thyroid function, nervous system regulation, nutrient status, the hair will improve as a byproduct. And honestly, I will reiterate this. Any doctor in the US or Canada, if you come across this video, please comment on this video and explain me why is it so difficult for a woman in perimenopause to have access to a complete picture of her health. Why are so many women told everything is normal even when she's complaining of fatigue and balding pattern on her scalp? She obviously is being sent back home with the blood work, which according to a conventional doctor is okay, but obviously when they come to me, I see those gaps that gap is stemming not just because she's not eating well or she's carrying emotional gunk, but because of all this, she's gotten so disconnected from her body. These women deserve answers, and they for sure deserve to know why it is happening. And they for sure deserve to know why it's happening before it turns into a much deeper dysfunction. This isn't about vanity, this isn't about just hair, this is about her physiology, her quality of life. Any woman's health should be treated as a priority right now, because by 2030, 1.3 billion women are going to be menopausal. It's high time. There are policies in place in every single country out there where a woman, if she wants to look at her complete blood panel, is not just, she does not need permission for it. There should be policies and there should be facilities where she can just walk into a clinic and get a full blood picture. Because let's face it, when a woman knows what's going on in her body, she can take actionable steps to fixing it. If she's being told without even having access to her blood work that everything is okay just based on her symptoms, not only is this unfair, I would say this is borderline injustice happening to women. I mean, see, I live in Dubai. When I get a client locally, there are many places in Dubai that have the where we have the access to get a full blood panel. Doctors in US and Canada, please comment on this video. I want to understand what's really happening and why do women have to struggle so much to have access to this. Let's bring this conversation to a discussion so that we can create a shift and maybe make the basic accessibility of a blood work reach out to more and more women who are looking for answers.